I believe that there is a 2 set range of each individual 4 sets of primary numbers that make up both the domain, which is just this part, the square facing part, and the range, which is everything, including the ghost numbers. I call this portal at 24 because it's the range, or that's the domain, and the whole thing filled out would be 72. That would be the range, and these are the with these 4 numbers, you can only switch them around in 2 different ways. If you have 2 like numbers and 2 different numbers, then you can switch them around and put the 6 up here over here and leave that 6 there, and have the 4 up here and 8 down here. If you try to switch the 4 and 8 around, that's just a different, that's the same combination as if you rotated the square or rotated the cube back around in that same position. And if you try to rotate these around, if you try to rotate the 8 and the 4 around, it's just the same as rotating that back around into that same position. So it's not really rotating, so those are redundant moves. The same with this, 6 and 7. The only thing you can do with this is put the switch the 6 and the 7, 6, 7, 7, 6, because any other moves would be redundant. You can just rotate it around or rotate this around. So you only have 2 sets for each range, or for the range of the domains of 25, in the range of the 75, and the domain of 24, and the range of 72. And these are the range elements, I believe. They have a interval, in this case for 72, they have an interval from 30 right here to 42 right here. And for the domain of 25, these range elements has a span from 30 right here to 45 right here. So I don't know exactly what all this means, but those are what I'm classifying them as, the range elements of the domains of the bound, which is minus this axis and this axis, just a flat axis, 24, and the bound of this, which is 24 minus these, and the bound of this is 25 minus these other axes. And same thing with this. And I'm assuming the same thing has its parallel in multiplication, but these are addition identity cubes, and they can only be identity cubes because if you try to if you put a 0 in any other position for the addition cubes, it wouldn't be an identity. Well, it wouldn't be set in the holographic form. It wouldn't be an identity cube, and it wouldn't be set in holographic form. So you can't switch 0 with 6, because there would be the third dimension wouldn't be suppressed. You have to, the third axis wouldn't be suppressed. You have 2 axes that signify the holographic bound, the flat surface, two-dimensional surface, and you have a third axis that signifies the 3 dimensions, the complete 3 dimensions of a holographic bulk. The whole bulk, and the bound is just a square, the 2-dimensional axis, and the zeros would be suppressed. So I hope I made myself clear in this, and I know this is getting a little bit blurry, but these are what I consider for these numbers. For one particular set of numbers, you only have 2 sets for the range, and I believe that's right, but those are just one set of numbers. But I believe one set of numbers in different arrangements correspond to 2 different portals, or at least numerical portals, in their correspondence to each other. And this is all just imaginative, wishful thinking, I guess. Well, thanks a lot. Bye.